I understand all of that.
When we did question the pilot at the party,
He did hesitate.
he hesitated, and that scared me.
I know you got that.
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
But
this is the Bob and Mike cast,
where each week we're going to get into some crazy topics. So listen in.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Mike Kismarchik. I'm here with Realtor Bob Greenlaw.
Hey, Mike. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Today we are going to get into some craziness of we're going to talk about the trending conspiracy theories.
Boom.
You ready for this?
Finally.
Is this your jam right here?
This was my wheelhouse, man.
Yeah. So we'll get into it. So the backstory is this weekend, right? We kind of were together. We went to not together, but we were at the same graduation party.
That's right.
Showed up, and
there was some irony to that graduation party, by the way, too.
There was. Yeah. Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, was that kind of everything came full circle right there, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting how that all played out. We started our real estate partnership at this same girl's baptism.
Yes, and she graduated. So
she graduated from high school. So anyway, that was so cool, and we made that full circle actually this morning.
We had to celebrate a little bit.
So we celebrated.
Yeah, had a good time and
kicked a few back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Finally gonna get our drinks out. Chicken,
yeah. And
We're finally gonna get our drinks.
So that was.
We definitely got our drink on.
Yeah, we had a few, but anyways, with the alcohol comes discussions of conspiracy theories, right?
People like to figure things out, man.
Yeah, and I really some of these are. I mean, I think these are the trending ones that I'm going to go over here.
All right, so I think it's just you. We're going to let you just hit this thing. You bring.
You want to go right off, into it? Okay.
I want to know what these are. The trending. Just to be clear, I have no idea what these are, and you're dropping them off on me for the first time. I know we heard a few on Saturday. There were all sorts of crazy, so I don't know.
Here's one crazy thing on Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
So there was it was a catered event, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, by the way, the pesto, you said had the pesto.
Yeah.
The pasta with the pesto sauce.
Told you.
It was good.
It was good.
It was really, you don't get a whole lot of pesto
at
these catered events, but
I mean,
it was there and it was amazing.
Yeah, people don't know, but real pesto has pine nuts in it. Those are expensive. So it's an expensive sauce to have with your pasta. So the fact there's less of that and more cream makes sense, but it was really good. Nonetheless, it was very good. And of course, we always like to make things better, but
of course.
Yeah. If I was doing it,
I'm sure if you were doing it, it would be a little bit better. It would have had
a better drizzle on it.
Yeah. If you should have been there in the kitchen.
I should have been there and watching over everyone. And
add a little bit of this and, some of that.
This is wrong.
But, so you said the name of the catering place, and I didn't believe you. It was because
right.
What was it?
That's right. Mama Rita's.
Mama Rita's. Yes.
So well done, Mama Rita's. By the way, shout out to you guys. You did an awesome job. We want to plug you. No, nothing owed, but wow, you wowed us all. So fantastic.
Mama Rita's, and I said that sounds made up. That sounds too much like a generic, Italian catering company.
Too. It was great.
paid up.
But not only you, I think there was a few of you that jumped on the $100 price thing that called my BS. And here I come, just so you guys all know. I take a little leisure walk away from everybody who was
disappears, and we're like, okay, well, he's maybe had enough.
Yep, for the he's realized he's wrong, so he's gone. And here I come out of the fog. And what do I bring?
You bring the card, the catering card, the menu,
and the name was
Mama Rita's.
And I won what?
$100.
So
big winner. Who's the big winner here?
Big winner here.
Bob's the big winner today.
I walked into this party. I know what's going down. Everyone questions me, and from that point on, no one questioned me the rest of the evening. So,
wow. There was for a little while. But funny thing on that menu, the city. Do you remember the city on that menu?
Oh man, was it Salerno? Sora.
Yes, Sora. And
your
my wife's grandma,
yes,
is from that city.
Crazy.
So it's all tying together. The universe is getting
while
very
your
crazy
wife
this
was
weekend.
Literally saying, "Oh, this is very good," and then I got questioned about all that. I come back out. Then the irony was, "Oh my God, that's our hometown." Plus, the name was correct.
Yes.
So it was pretty funny.
So it's all kind of,
You had to
these
be
things
there.
are happening, and it's a lot of weirdness.
And there's a lot of drinking going on.
Dots are
So,
being connected. And
so you can add the extra flavor that in between of all these things that it's just making it very comical. But yeah, it was an ironical event. We had a great time. Mama Rita, well done.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some things happening with some questions. People wanted to talk about some certain things, and they wanted to get our,
yes.
Well,
it's just, you have these discussions, but
I love it.
So what I did is, I went to ChatGPT. It's my research right here.
Yep.
And I pulled and I asked, what are the trending conspiracy theories?
Paper Mike is back.
Right. Now it gave me a date of September 2021. So it says so apparently this thing is not as good as it is being sold as, right? Because if it can only pull up data from 2021, anyways, but these are the trending as of then, I guess. But these were all,
or maybe it hasn't changed since 21. So
yeah, well, I have 5 of them.
Okay,
right? And
so let's start with number
3
one.
of them were discussed.
Oh, so let's go with this. Go with the 2 that weren't.
Okay. I was going to go 1 through 5, but if you want to do that, let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
because you're reading the list, so don't go with ones we've kind of talked about a little bit.
Okay.
Because I may have already given you my opinion on. Let's just go
I
fresh.
still want to hear it, but yeah. So okay, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to say it, and I want to know
what I think,
where you fall on this. Okay.
And I'm going to give any. Just be clear. Full transparency. Anything I say is my opinion, my thought from inside my head.
You're allowed your opinion.
I'm not reading anything, and I'm not backing anybody else's business. I don't care what anybody else is thinking.
Okay, so the
Full
actual facts may not be facts, right?
Well, facts according to me.
So okay, so they're
don't laugh.
Your facts.
They're facts that I think are factual
in your head. They're real. Yes. Okay.
Well, I've either read it, heard it, said it, thought of it on my own.
Based on your life
people can have
experience.
original thought. We can have an original thought.
But a fact is a fact.
I think all conspiracy theories are just that. They're theory. So in theory means from your head. So you have to come to a conclusion in your head.
In your head. Okay. All right.
So it may be theory. It may be factual.
But you need to have some supporting facts.
Well, I'll try to do that.
Try. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ready?
You can cite me later.
And I wish we would have we had a pilot there. So 2 actually. And I wish we would have. But
don't worry, we'll bring them in.
This is, and see, you're throwing me off because now this is number 2, but
that's okay. Don't worry about it. You're always worried about going
number 1 in your hearts, right? Chemtrails. You familiar with this?
Okay, just give it to
read it. Okay. Yep. So some individuals believe that the white trails left behind by airplanes in the sky, known as contrails, are actually chemicals or biological agents intentionally sprayed for undisclosed purposes.
Okay.
Where do you fall on this?
This is where I give you my opinion.
This is where, okay.
All right. If there's a nut house and people that believe that, I think that's where they belong. Because that's some crazy business.
That's some crazy stuff.
That's not even a conspiracy as far as I'm concerned.
It is. People believe this.
This
is a trending theory. Yes. There are people
there's no way.
Okay.
Okay. So, can I just ask you, because I can't answer this without knowing one thing.
Yes.
Do you believe it?
Do I believe it?
Or not?
I don't know. This one I personally do not believe, but there are people that believe. Okay, if you're into government population control and stuff like that, where they want to maybe spray something on certain, but I'm not. I'm not. I don't believe that. But yeah, that's crazy stuff, right?
Wow.
Or is it not crazy? I don't know. Maybe we're crazy.
I would say this, truthfully, I can say, I think it would be crazy to think that stuff like that doesn't happen.
Oh, so now you believe it?
No, well, hold on. Let me finish. Let me bring it full circle.
Okay.
I don't believe the ones behind the planes that when we look up in the sky,
yes,
that it's a purposely, it's like...
So like crop dusting, that happens.
That happens.
But those are not on a population. Those are on crops, right?
And so, but yes. Do I believe there may have been people that flown over and dropped stuff off in the air? I'm not, at this point, sure I believe that happened, but I don't believe it's a normality that I would go as far as saying every plane flying overhead because we all know that's just an exhaust fume from a hot engine that in cold air.
We think we know.
Well, I think that might be physics and just just, I mean, I listen, no facts, because I'm not a chemist and I don't know. I'm not a
You don't know
physicist.
what's put into that jet fuel, right?
Yeah. I mean, jet fuel can't be good for the environment. I'm certain of that.
No.
But what is? Coffee you're drinking is not good for you.
No.
So the water you is, but yours is boosted up. So
It's alkaline.
yeah. But what I'm saying
good
is
pH. Yes.
jet fuel bad? Yes.
Of course.
Is the stream behind the engine trying to kill humans? I don't buy into that one.
Well,
I'm gonna have to.
that's what they believe. They believe that those. Well, here I did read an article, a while back, and they talked about using chemtrails to fight off global warming. So you would put something in the atmosphere, and it's like.
But that would be something people are proud of. They wouldn't lie about that. They'd want us to know about that.
Well, yeah. So that but
like I would pitch that. That'd be a hell of a slogan. Hey man, we're trying to save the earth. We're spraying this stuff in every jet. I think we'd even contribute to that
for sure. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that that's what this is. I'm saying that so knowing that there's.
And by the way, Elon should be listening, and hopefully you come up with that chemical because
Yes.
I think you can do it.
He's the one that's going to save this whole thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is because that's an idea, who's to say that they aren't using the same thing for other chemicals,
I
right?
hate when you make me change my thoughts.
Okay,
Okay, listen, I'm
wait a
maybe
minute.
50-50
So are you
now.
50-50 now?
I'm 50-50. Now
Okay.
you got me thinking maybe.
I'm just
And-
saying it could happen.
I think it should, but in the pretense that you sold it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it for some kind of good,
You think it's for good,
yeah.
and you think governments always work
and
for
if-
good.
Well, okay. Listen,
Is that the premise we're going with?
I think we need to be careful. Black Hawk Down might show up. I mean, no, governments are not maliciously trying to kill humans, I think, on a regular basis. That's not what their goal is.
That's what we hope. Yes.
That just makes sense.
Yes. Okay. So that's what they're saying, that there's something that is being
All
released.
forms of government are to help people, good or bad. Their intent is for our benefit.
It should
be.
Should be. Yes.
And though it always seems to somehow come across murky and ugly, I don't want to ever believe they'd purposely want to hurt us.
So for the masses.
So,
But that's okay. So what if they're trying to help the masses?
yeah, I don't know.
And there's and there's
what if they're spraying vitamin E in there, or vitamin whatever?
Could be for good, could be for bad. But it just says, it doesn't say whether it's good or bad. It just says that it's intentionally sprayed for undisclosed purposes.
Again, so my feeling towards it would be, I don't believe it for one reason, because if it was sprayed for the intent of good and we knew that was the intent, it was for good, and that would be so marketable. How could you not want people to know?
You could win a campaign on that, right?
You could, yeah.
This is what we're doing. Hey, we're helping the population by this.
This is what we're doing. We're spraying the earth around the clock with every plane that takes off so that their carbon footprint equals zero. I mean, who's not going to want to jump up and be like, hey,
there's an idea.
Yeah, you'd have every green organization from here to wherever, flying in whatever direction, spraying something that could inevitably, help mankind. That's too marketable, bro. That is way too much good for someone to not want to bring that. When you start saying undisclosed reasons,
Yep.
that's what they said about the Manhattan Project. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
an undisclosed reason for testing nuclear weapons.
And that's it, right? So
that's never good.
So it's never good. No.
It's never to be used. We have it. We don't want to use it. But
And all of a sudden we have air quality alerts now.
yeah, when did that ever
on a
appear?
weekly basis.
Yeah. That makes me nervous
Yeah.
about our future.
Yeah.
Because we used to play out with, plants that were, just a town over spewing toxins like crazy. We were fine.
Yeah.
So they said.
Yeah. Apparently it worked great, right?
And now, now we have air quality. Don't go outside for more than 2 hours. We have air quality alerts.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, it's this conspiracy theories, man, are more than 5, and I'm telling you.
Oh, there are more. Yeah, there's a ton, but these are the trending 5.
Yeah, I know.
In 2021. So
yeah,
for ChatGPT, right? I guess
AI is a year off.
I think it needs to teach itself.
I don't think they like dates.
All right. So number 2 or number 4, as I'm looking at it, right? Next one. Okay. Now this ties pretty much every conspiracy theory together, I think, right?
Okay.
This talks about the New World Order, right?
Oh boy.
Excuse me.
Wow.
New World Order conspiracy theory suggests that a secretive global elite or shadow government is working towards establishing a totalitarian world government to control the world's population, resources, and economies.
Yeah.
So like the deep state.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
That's deep.
Huh?
That's deep. Here's the thing. Honestly, you really gotta. Here's my overall opinion when it comes to any of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, really, this is a true statement. Number one, on almost any one of the conspiracy theories that are out there,
Yeah.
I truly don't care.
So you don't care.
I really don't.
You don't. Okay.
If I found out something was real or not, and it was opposite of what I thought, I don't care.
You don't care because you can't really do anything about it.
Well, I always ask anybody if the conspiracy is going to change my livelihood,
Yes.
then I'm going to care. So
Okay.
like if you telling me about,
A conspiracy.
World
to,
War II didn't actually happen, or people say, I don't know if I don't even want to say it, but let's just use this one because this was a funny one and maybe it's on your list, but people landing on the moon.
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All of these have some validity of why they would be even brought up. That's my belief.
Okay.
It wouldn't just come out of
You're
thin air.
allowed to question. You're allowed
Sure.
to. You should question.
It's
you
actually
should question
it's our
everything.
civil duty to
Yes.
question.
If you just take everything they say as
That's
truth,
stupid.
That's bad.
That's stupid.
Yes. You should question.
You don't, if you lead the sheep to slaughter, you get slaughtered. But if you get a sheep to kick out and run, that's one that lived. We're the livers, dude. We kick
never
out.
heard the sheep.
I just made that up.
Yes.
That's a Bobism.
You prefer spaghetti and meatballs?
Some people like spaghetti and tuna fish.
All right.
Lamb
Okay.
and tuna fish. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, my general thought is I love conspiracies because they make you think,
Yes.
and I love to think.
Mm-hmm.
More so, I don't care the outcome. So there's really no need. I don't get upset.
Unless it affects your livelihood, like.
But if it affected me, like someone tells
the
me,
New
like,
World Order is gonna crash interest rates to.
Now I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah, housing
Yeah.
industry is gonna be gone.
now you've
Yes.
sparked an interest that now hits me at home. Now I'm going to give you my real emotional opinion. And that strikes differently amongst different
A
people.
group of AI realtors, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. We can't have that.
We can't have that.
That's not. Yeah.
That's not coming down the pike.
Anyways, New World Order. So I think New World Order. I think Hollywood Hogan. I think
Yeah.
back to the great days of wrestling. WCW. But that's me.
Yeah.
That's what pops into my head. NWO.
Wow.
NWO. Yes.
Those were some crazy days with them guys, man.
Those guys were great. Yeah.
And they came out of nowhere like that too. So
They exploded. Yes.
New World Order. Don't believe in the New World Order as a title.
You don't. Okay.
But I do believe that the governments and all that are trying to minimize resourcing, and I do believe that's probably very true. I mean, we have
Chemtrails to control the world's population, right?
well,
They fit together.
the world population part's the part I don't agree with. That's why I don't believe in New World Order. Like I said, I don't believe they would try to be killing us off. There's no advantage to less numbers. Numbers are money. So the more numbers, the more money. It's just a simple mathematical
You would need
equation.
more resources for a bigger population.
Yes. And I don't think there is a lack of resource. I think that there's ever evolving places of resource. Like I believe that maybe in the Middle East was the heaviest concentration of oil at one point in time.
Now we're finding it
But
everywhere.
I'm believing that because you got to remember, I go with the Earth concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the Earth is the way it was modeled. There's a liquid center. There's an atmosphere. There's gravity. There's hard parts that are called plates.
Now you're getting,
no, but listen, these plates are not fixed to
geology
the,
here. Okay.
but they're not fixed to anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're fixed to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like taking an
big ball of gas.
Well, yeah, but take your coffee, right?
Uh-huh.
Let it sit there. Let the cream get to the top and get nasty and all that crunchy stuff.
It separates.
And then just go hit it with your finger.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see chunks of it that will still hold and move around to this liquid and then settle somewhere else.
So this is the Earth, this coffee.
Well, not in its entirety. Just I'm talking about how the plates work, right? Our Earth, our crust is on the top hard. You break it on a liquid, it's going to move.
Okay, now bring this back to the new world order.
I don't think they want to kill humans because
who are they?
Just,
so if you say they, that means you are believing in the new world order because you're giving life to them right now.
Oh my God!
You see what you just did?
Oh.
You just flip sides.
No, I'm going to give you my true feeling on
this.
this.
So you're 50-50 on chemtrails. Now you're for the new world order? Is that what I'm getting?
I'm not for it. I believe in there are a few top people.
Group of elites.
Yes, I do believe in that.
That run that have more influence than.
Because you got to take times of the emperor. I mean, you even take more modern than emperors because they go way, way back.
Yeah.
But like Egyptians, we've talked about before.
Yes.
Egyptians were wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
How? I know dinosaurs were wiped out. We had an excuse for them.
Mm-hmm.
But where'd the Egyptians all go?
We think, right? You weren't there.
I don't care. I can do the math. I do the timeline math. Where did they dissipate to? What did they transition into? There would have been a transition period. And the only reason they got out of that area was because the area changed from what it was.
Yeah.
We have pictures that said it was green and flourishing in the Nile River and gold and all this other crazy
more
stuff.
than 2,500 years BC, right?
Yeah. And they built everything out of gold, bro. Everything was gold.
Did you see? I don't want to get it back into the pyramids, but
it's still.
Did you see the tip
conspiracy
of the pyramid was gold plated?
Yeah, original. They thought it was the first thing they stole,
and it was it was like a just flat.
Yeah, it had like it had like a sheen. It was perfect.
Yes,
telling you, man.
Yeah, craziness.
We talked about that at the party, remember? And I said, you want to know how you build the pyramid? Take it apart. Start taking it apart.
Start like an engine, like when you're trying to
find the machines that we would
reverse engineer it.
Reverse engineer it. Find the machine we would use today, right, to unbrick this damn thing, and then figure out how that machine could have been replicated back at that time. But you actually physically have to take the bricks off.
Yeah, and nobody wants to do that.
And nobody wants to do that because we know we can't touch pyramids. Why? Yeah. Who said? Who said? Level it, blow it up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Make a golf course out of it. We see it on the internet. Doesn't need to be there anymore.
Just bring it back. Bring back the hologram or whatever. Right?
It's there because whoever wants it to be there, they want it to be there.
Probably somebody in the NWO.
It's not NWO, but you have to understand we have Saudis that are worth trillions, and these are individual human beings. Are people seriously as blind to think that only a Saudi could be that rich? Sorry, but we started using oil in the 1900s. Before that,
see, I feel like you need me to add number 6 on this list.
Okay, go to number 6.
You're starting to
NWO. I don't know.
There is no number 6, but I feel like you're creating number 6. I think you're starting to come up with your own theories right now.
Yeah, you got my mind spinning, bro. My head's gonna be spinning today.
You came into this conversation pretty sane, but I feel like you're
my poor wife. When I go home, she's gonna be like, "Oh my God!"
All right, now here we go. Okay.
Sorry, babe.
Now we're into the one. Well, actually,
Mike did this to me. Mike turned me into this.
We did talk about this, and this is I don't really want to get too deep into this one, but the 9/11 conspiracy theory, right?
Okay. Oh no, I'm not even touching that, bro.
The theory suggests the United States government was involved in
I don't even want to
terrorist attacks, claiming that it was inside job to justify a military intervention in the Middle East.
I'm not even giving you my opinion on live.
All right, let's move on. You haven't had any drinks today yet.
Okay, listen. All right, you know what? I don't really care. Yeah, all right, bring it home.
You want to go? Okay,
I do. I want to bring it.
All right, okay.
That's it. You poked the bear. Now you're getting it.
You're lucky I can edit this.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead. Talk.
Yeah,
we'll see if it makes it. We'll see if it makes it on. Yeah.
9/11. Wow. Okay, so I do believe there's some conspiracy there.
You do. You believe in this. Okay.
I do believe that the building integrities from previous bombings made it weak. I think.
How many previous bombing attempts were there?
I think there was 1 or 2.
Okay.
And I think either the second one, and again, we were really young, so again, I don't.
And this is going back to we're not spitting facts here. We're
no facts. These are just things I remember from time.
You feel are.
Yeah. No facts but no, I just feel like the buildings were probably going to come down at some point because, these mad bombers beforehand that I do, I guess, somewhat believe were intentional.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I don't care who was actually to blame for it, but the explosion was intentional, and they wanted to hurt people, and mission accomplished on both fronts, from the bombings to the planes. But I do believe that it's deep. It kind of goes along with the Titanic theory. I hate to say it.
Okay, here we go. Yep.
I don't know if it made your list, but
Did not.
I think the Titanic. Why do we keep going back there? I mean, really. The only people that seem to want to go back to this site are billionaires, and they all seem to perish in this same spot at some point. Why go? What are we
they
looking
for? That? What is that necklace called? What was it in the movie?
Diamond of the Sea of the Diamond,
Right,
or
so
the Heart of the
Sea of the
Jewelers, or the hell it was called.
That was Rose's necklace. Whatever.
Should have threw Rose off the back of
Yeah, I
that thing.
can't
You won't
believe
get that.
It's priceless, and she throws it off the back.
There was an alternative ending to that, by the way.
Yes.
I just found that out not too long
Does Jack
ago.
live?
It wasn't about Jack.
It wasn't about Jack. Okay.
It was the
So the current, yeah. So
remember
yeah.
she throws it down and
Yes.
oops, and she's
Yep.
happy it's going back to the Titanic. And there was a second version, I guess, where they catch her about to do it.
Okay.
And then he's like, "Oh, you had this the whole time." She's like, "Yep, I just needed you to get me here so I could." There's some version of that
Anyways,
shit. Anyway,
she seems like a mean person.
it's an insurance scam.
Yes. Okay. On both fronts. What you mean the
So
not the necklace, not in the movie.
The Titanic. They say that it might not even be the Titanic. I mean, all these experts. Of course, everybody's an expert.
Okay.
So this
No.
is my problem with all these conspiracies. Everyone becomes an expert because they've read a couple books, and now they're going to hodgepodge all this, and now we're all wondering. But here's the deal. I hate to say it, but you keep going back to the Titanic. People do. We have specials on it all the time. We have pictures all over the internet. We had movies made about it. We've developed equipment to go down that deep to take pictures of the thing. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not making any of this up. These are all facts.
Those are facts, yes.
But here's the one question. Why?
You want answers?
Yeah, I want answers.
Okay. What do you got?
I don't have them. I don't have any answers to this. I'm asking
I
the
thought you were
question.
going somewhere.
Well, I'm asking you why.
No,
why would you go?
But I wouldn't go.
I know you would.
You know I wouldn't
but
go.
what would make you
Would
go?
you go? You go on a little submarine? Obviously, we know how that, unfortunately, plays out. But I couldn't.
But again, billionaires.
Yes.
The only people that could go in that sub, unfortunately, were
Yeah.
rich people. They took a huge risk to do something they had no reason being there.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad.
Okay.
I feel sorry
All right.
for their families.
Okay.
But I don't feel bad that what happened because it was going to happen. It's a probability of some sort. I'm not a mathematician. Call Sheldon. He'll figure the math out. But there's a probability that would happen.
That the submarine would implode.
There would be
a
a catastrophic event.
Yes. Yes.
Of course. It's just a matter of time. You've gone down there 400 or 500 times over the last 100 years. At some point,
Yeah, the numbers are yes. Okay.
they
All
just
right.
claimed a few more lives.
So
I feel like
you
that's
moved-
what happened
you
to
moved
the
off of
911.
Okay. So
Yeah, so the buildings, I don't think were strong. There were a lot of people going in there. I think inevitably there was going to be a tragedy in that spot, one way or another. I don't care how you want to label it. I just feel that in my heart. It just felt like it was.
all right, let's bring it back.
Anyway.
Let's bring it back. Okay, moving
So
on.
next one.
Moving on. You see, yeah, you
Yeah, I told you, man. Don't bring them
should
up.
have got
man. I
into that
start
one.
flying into
You
stuff.
went everywhere. You,
I know.
it took you to the Titanic. But
Hey, man.
anyway,
that one bites me every once in a while.
all right, the moon landing.
Oh yeah, I don't really.
All right, so according to the theory, the United States faked the Apollo moon landing in 1969, asserting that the entire event was staged to win the space race against the Soviet Union. Agree or disagree?
Disagree 100%.
You think that they actually landed on the moon?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's a couple things. There's they say that in order to get to the moon, you have to go through the Van Allen radiation belt, which is like super high level of radiation that humans really shouldn't be able to survive.
Is that why the things are always wrapped in aluminum foil?
I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. Could be, but they're saying that is
Clearly, clearly Elon's flying to Mars. The moon is just a layaway.
But he hasn't. A person
he knows
hasn't.
they can, though.
A person hasn't. It's just something.
We have a rover up there. If we have a robot on there, we can put a human there.
Okay. Well,
I don't see that being a
human has to survive. Okay. Now how?
Because then you'd have to say Mars is fake.
Okay. I've never been there.
You
I'm
think all
taking their
fake?
word for it? No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I'm messing with you.
Because if it is, it's crazy Hollywood,
Yes.
and we'd be funding a lot of craziness, and I think that would really pretty much mess up the entire world.
Okay. Well, they're saying that there are no stars in the pictures, right? And up there, it should be unobstructed views of the stars.
Okay.
Okay.
So no pictures.
So there's no stars, right? So they're saying that those pictures were fake. But now the argument to that is that the moon has a daytime as well, even though it's dark, where the sun kind of lights it up and you wouldn't see the stars. Like we don't see stars during the daytime.
Well, no, because the moon orbits around us. We orbit around the sun.
Yeah,
So
but
there
there
is
is
a
a certain time.
No.
No.
There would always be a dark side to the moon. Because we would cover
And a light side.
Yeah, we see the light side. That's the part that's reflecting off the sunlight. We see that part.
Yeah. So there would be a daytime on the moon, essentially,
And a night.
and a night.
But it doesn't rotate. It doesn't have, it's not an orbital.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's orbital. It doesn't spin on its axis. It's a firm spot.
Spins around us.
Just spins around us,
Yeah.
but it never turns
Mhm.
on its own equator, or on its own axis like we do. We spin and we turn.
All right. So do you believe that this happened or no?
No, I believe it happened.
You believe it
100%.
happened? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Only because if it didn't happen, then everything that's happening today would be all BS. And I don't know if I can go that far.
But that was 50 years ago.
I don't care, man.
50 years ago. So here, listen, I've always believed it.
Okay.
I was told that it was real, and I always believed it. But I do kind of question it a little bit.
Wow.
I do.
That's what happens when you get the internet, folks.
Too much information out there. But yeah,
It is.
no, it
No,
just
I don't
seems,
disagree. I understand.
it
why
just
you would
seems
think that.
like there's some issues there that you like. Okay, could
Here's
you
the thing.
really do that
Sure.
with that technology? Like they showed, they were calling the spaceship on the moon
With
from
video.
a landline.
With
They
video.
had a landline. They're pulling the phone up here, calling the space. Like they didn't have
The
cell
landline
phones. They didn't
was
have
connected
satellite.
to a big satellite, bro. It wasn't connected to Michigan
I
Bell.
get it. I get it. I get it.
Hey,
They were-
operator, can you hook me up with this
Can you click-
dumbass on the moon, please? I don't got time to wait. Click.
Send the cord up there.
Come on, man. It
No.
was a huge satellite.
I know, but
They used to have car phones back in the 60s, bro. Car phones.
in the
I know
60s.
There's a movie with John Wayne in the 60s. This guy, firefighters or hellfighters.
That's a
whatever.
movie.
No. But movies were real. I mean, the props in the movies weren't fake. That was real. I mean,
No, props are fake.
this guy was on an oil field and he called. These were real dudes, though. Like, it wasn't fictitious, futuristic stuff. It was, we're firefighters for oil wells and, big,
And he had a cell
rich-
phone.
Did not a cell phone. It looked like a home phone with the wires in the car that it would ring and he would answer it, but it was hooked up to some power antenna that boosted.
Okay, all right.
So
It just seems like you go up north and I can't talk to you, but they're going up to the moon
know.
and apparently there's clear.
but here's the deal. If I was to give NASA your coordinates here and mine up north, they would make that connection so clear that it would spin our head.
Maybe I need to talk to NASA.
Well, it's just you don't need to talk to anybody up up at the moon.
And the
You
moon?
can't pick up the phone and call,
As well.
What was his name? Neil Diamond?
Neil, Sweet Caroline?
Sweet Caroline was up there?
Yeah. Neil Armstrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
Get Neil on the phone. Hey, Neil,
What's
make
up, Neil?
another
Yeah.
lap. I don't know what you're doing up there, but do another. How about this? You talk about that. Everyone says that the flag that he left up there isn't up there.
Where'd it go?
Well, NASA said it blew over when they took off because he had it too close. So the flag is actually there. They have images of it in the dirt. And apparently, this is why they're going back up to the damn thing.
To get the flag.
To go show everyone that flag was still there.
Okay.
And they're going to stick that thing right back where it was and show everybody.
So,
because listen, man, we're getting video from Mars, allegedly. But
yeah,
if it's true, right, we're getting video from Mars.
Yes.
Mars is a long way away. If we're getting video, that means we can have a phone conversation. You know what I'm saying? Video is harder to transmit.
And again, it's if you feel that is real video, right? Because you can make crazy things now with AI and you know, you can see what they do in the movies.
Okay, so my question is always the same. Why? It doesn't change.
Exactly. What?
Elon would just be that much richer if there wasn't a reason to go to Mars because he wouldn't spend his money on doing it.
All right.
So I don't believe.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? It's hard to swallow.
I get it.
Plus, we know he's made a ship. We know
yes.
Bezos had a ship and went into, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
is Flat Earth on here?
You're jumping ahead.
Because I was just going to say, I think the Jeff Bezos thing did see the curvature, didn't it? They go up just high enough.
Let's get right into it. So the last one on here is the flat Earth theory, right?
Yeah.
So this theory claims that Earth is flat instead of spherical, arguing that space agencies, governments, and scientists are involved in a massive cover-up to hide this fact.
Yeah. No.
Again, see, all these go back to this new world order.
Yeah.
It's all connected. They feel like, hey, there's someone hiding stuff from them, right?
Yeah. So I run my all list of conspiracies under the same story. Ready?
Yes.
I'll give it to you in a brief, quickie.
Okay.
Okay. I believe that in this world that we call the world today,
yes,
if we start peeling back the layers of onions and go back and back and back and back and keep following everybody's trails of times all the way to Adam and Eve, if you believe in such a thing, okay? At certain points, civilizations disappeared in their entirety, whether their culture, their language, whatever you want to call it. You can take it either by somebody took them over, someone conquered them, changed their religion. I don't care what you call it. But there have been
civilizations have collapsed.
Aztecs, Egyptians, just to name two. Okay? So from that time, somebody was in charge of humans because we cannot be in charge of ourselves.
Okay.
We only work under leadership. You see it. It's all over the world. There is no country that's self-governed and self-lived. This doesn't work.
Yeah, okay.
There's always somebody that's going to jump in to be the leader, right?
Yeah.
So I believe there are leaders.
Like, what was it, Lord of the Flies?
Where did that come from?
Well, weren't the kids on the island and they had to self-govern?
Children of the Corn?
No. Okay, go on. Anyways, same principle.
Same principle.
I can see that. Children of the
Okay.
Corn were,
So
Malachi and the boys.
We're just
Sorry, man, you were on a heater. You were busting through it and I threw you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
Okay, anyway, going back fast, I believe that these people, like the Roman Empire, Caesar had family, had friends. Whether you want to believe it or not, I don't care what the storybooks say. It's just common sense. He would have descended it or given it to somebody else, right? And that's what they did. But to feel as if it just stops and kind of fizzles away, to not think that the people who were in power at that time continued a version of power, maybe just not to what people saw. And when back in the day you don't have any technology.
Give me your point. What's your sum it up?
Sum it up is going back to landing on the moon. It was a Russia versus U.S. thing. What about all the other countries? Did they give a shit? And none of them have come out to say it was fake, and they would have everything to gain by doing it.
Well, if Russia believed it or the Soviet Union believed it, then
that's what I'm saying.
It was a successful mission by the U.S., right?
And so these crazy
nobody else would know.
So some people will theorize that say, well, Russia and the U.S. were in it together, just like the Cold War. And I do believe a lot of that was kind of maybe inflated for budget purposes.
By the way,
considering Russia has no chance of beating Ukraine and they're a small country and we're supposed to fear them as a world power, they can't take over just a small territory and all this time that they've had. There's something doesn't add up. There's just a stinks of something that doesn't add up. And I feel like that's just, horrible.
Yeah. By the way,
it's just a game that's played at the top.
By the way, I saw that they discovered hieroglyphics.
You're going to say it. I know what you're going to say. Go.
In the Grand Canyon.
Told you.
Did you see that?
I did. I just heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So they think there were, I guess, I don't want to say Egyptians because it's not Egypt, but similar societies here before the Native Americans.
And I don't want to go one step further with Egyptians. Remember, I was telling you they built a lot of gold.
Yes.
Well, guess where else they found a ton of gold? California.
Mm-hmm.
So did they just find it? Or has it always been there? And no one just wanted to let anyone know where California was until we did the big move,
We also talked about the Mayans and the Aztecs and their pyramids on this side of the world.
We know people were
very
here.
similar to that side of the world.
You call them indigenous.
Yeah.
They were here.
So,
and again, they don't have their storybook, and I wish they had their storybook to write. Because that's the other part I want to ask. Talking about all the American Indians that were here, that's great. Mm-hmm. They would have had some version of their start of story too. Where did they end and start? Because I don't know that story.
They did the big walk from Europe. You have to check your history books. Yeah.
Mike, that doesn't even make sense.
It does, because it was connected way back.
So my theory of the earth moving and changing its plates.
Of course.
That's the deal.
Yes.
And that's why right now Antarctica is frozen, but Antarctica is moving. That's why there's glaciers that are falling.
Unless you believe the flat earth, where Antarctica is a wall around the earth. So you have the North Pole. Everything else is flat, circle, right? And then Antarctica is actually a barrier wall.
So if you flew east, west, north, or south, you run into ice.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. We had pilots there, dude, confirmed it.
According to you. But they believe that the pilots are part of the massive cover-up.
Sure.
So,
because we could keep all this, and granted, everything we watch on television these days is all about cover-ups. So I guess, like I said, when you get into these conspiracy theories, you only fuel them more because there's so many of them over.
Yes.
This person did this to that person. This person was told to be quiet, and that was this, and this led to that, and that leads to this. Yes, I understand all of that.
When we did question the pilot at the party,
he did hesitate.
He hesitated, and that scared me.
I know you got that.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
But we talked about it again yesterday, which is funny because I saw them yesterday.
Yes,
and I brought it up, and he was laughing, and he said yes, but I had a few drinks. And I didn't want to say something stupid and funny.
Check himself. Yes.
Because you guys were asking me a real question. So I wanted to be a professional pilot. And that's why he paused. And he did give the answer.
Which makes sense. Yeah. But at first,
which he's a very proper person. So he would have done that.
But you always look for that hesitation. When you see that are you hiding anything? No. Are you hiding anything? And then, that's that little hesitation right there.
Listen, he admitted he can't see the curvature of the earth, but he's not supposed to.
They're not high enough.
You got to be pretty high. You got to be pretty high, Panama Red. All right, so let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Okay. We sent people up to space, Bezos, in that little capsule thing.
Oh.
And they stayed up there for, 15 seconds, I think it was?
Just to feel the zero gravity, yes. Mm-hmm.
And, there are pictures from the International Space Station, allegedly, if you go with your people, that show that it is round.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, and this is no offense to your flat earthers, nothing else in space is flat.
Yeah. Everything is
round.
Circular, yes.
Or some circular.
It's a sphere
of some sort. We are not a perfect sphere. We are not a perfect circle.
No.
Scientists have said it.
But, I just feel like
I know it.
Yeah. And you know what? We're gonna have a flat Earth.
We'll do a flat Earth day because that one was fun.
And we'll do an entire podcast on that because there's a lot to unfold in that. Because
I don't bucket 15 seconds.
I've heard it. I've had conversations over and over, and I can't get it. I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me, but yeah.
All right. Well, on that note.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks
Interesting
for
stuff.
turning my head into this mush today.
So Bob is now 5 out of 5 with the theories here.
No, I'm not. I was against all of them. I think I don't think so.
All right. Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We appreciate your feedback and support. Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes packed with valuable insights you don't want to miss.